So now I want you to go ahead and open your workbook to page 66, Unit 6, page 66. Okay, so let's take a look at exercise 1. I'll give you some time to go ahead and complete the sentences using the words in the box. Okay, so let's go over exercise 1. Number 1, one of my chores is to take out the trash. Number 2, the deadline for my project is tomorrow. Number 3, I have another project due next week. So sometimes you'll hear people say due, just like D-O, or you can also say due. So due or due, both are fine. Okay, and then number 4, you have to make a to-do list of tasks in order of importance. Okay. Number 5, do your homework now and stop procrastinating. Number 6, I have too many things to do this weekend. I need to prioritize them. Okay, so I need to prioritize them. And number 7, please don't be so impatient. Your food will be ready soon. Okay, and then exercise 2 is Olivia's journal entry, and we already did that for our listening activity. But now we're going to look at the questions on page 67. I already asked some of these questions, but we're going to take a look at the rest of them. Okay. So go ahead and take a look at number 1. This one I already asked you, but what is Olivia's problem? And the answer is she has too many things to do. Okay, and then number 2, I already asked you this question as well. So I asked you, what does Olivia need to stop doing? And the answer is Olivia needs to stop procrastinating. Okay, and then number 3, go ahead and take some time to complete this sentence. Okay, so when Olivia prioritizes, she'll do the most important tasks first. So that's letter C. When Olivia prioritizes, she'll do the most important tasks first. Okay, and then number 4, I already asked you that question. What will she do before she cooks? Okay, and the answer is she will go shopping before she cooks. So if you look back at the story, she says, first, I want to do the shopping because it is the most important. Next, I'll cook the food. So we can see that first she goes shopping, and then next she cooks the food. So we can say she will go shopping before she cooks the food. Okay. And then number 5, go ahead and complete that sentence, as well as number 6. You can complete both of those. Okay, so number 5, when friends are impatient, they are not willing to wait. So as you can see, the word impatient includes the prefix im, which means not, and then patient, which you know. So it means willing to wait. So if you say impatient, it means not willing to wait. And then number 6, when you don't have time, you are too busy. That one's pretty easy. Okay, so let's keep going. Exercise 4, match. So this one, I'll go ahead and give you some time to do this as well, and then we'll look at it together. There you go. Number 1, do homework, letter B. Number 2, make a to-do list, letter F. 3, take out the trash, letter E. Number 4, prioritize tasks, so letter C. Number 5, be impatient, letter A. And number 6, order of importance, letter D. Okay, so for exercise 5, we are going to listen to another audio. I will play it now and then ask some questions afterwards.
Page 67. Exercise 5.
Alicia, I don't know how you do it.
Do what, Thomas?
You always have time for everything. You do all of your work, and you still have time for other things, like going to the gym. How do you do it?
Oh, that. Well, a few years ago, I took a class in time management. Before I took the class, I used to procrastinate a lot.
Yeah, tell me about it. I procrastinate all of the time.
Now I've learned to make to-do lists. When I have a lot of things to do, I make a list. I write down things I have to do and put the most important things first. In other words, I prioritize the tasks.
I've tried that, but after I make the list, I usually lose it.
I make my list on the computer. Then I print out a copy and put it on the wall near my desk. That way, I can't lose it.
Sounds like a good system.
Here's my list for today. First, finish the sales report. After that, make some important phone calls. Then at 2:30, I meet with the salespeople. Then I can go to the gym. When I finish a task, I put a line through it.
Well, maybe I'll try it. You know what they say, never do today the things you can do tomorrow.
Thomas, that's not quite right. It's never do tomorrow the things you can do today. In other words, don't procrastinate.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay, so who are the speakers, or who is speaking in the audio? So you can say Alicia and Thomas are speaking, or Alicia and Thomas are the speakers. Okay, and then the next question is, what are they talking about? What are they talking about? Okay, so we might say they are talking about managing time, or they are talking about time management. And of course, there are many other sentences you might make. But if you have any questions, you can feel free to message me or email me. You have my information in the video, and you also have our WhatsApp chat group. You can send me messages in. Okay, so let's take a look at the statements in exercise 5. What are the two true statements? Okay, so we know that the second one, Alicia has learned to manage her time, is true. And also, Thomas often procrastinates. In fact, he said he always procrastinates. So those are the two true statements. So how did Alicia learn to manage her time? How did Alicia learn to manage her time? Okay, so you can say, she took a class in time management a few years ago. She took a class in time management a few years ago. Okay, and then what is Thomas's problem and why? So you might say, Thomas doesn't manage his time well, or you could say he loses his to-do list. He loses his to-do list. Okay, so What advice does Alicia give Thomas? What advice does Alicia give Thomas? Or how does Alicia succeed at keeping her to-do list? Or we can say, how does Alicia succeed at sticking to her to-do list? Stick to means to commit to, not giving up, not failing, but succeeding and committing to it well. So we can say, Alicia prints out a copy and puts it on the wall near her desk. She prints out a copy of her to-do list and puts it on the wall near her desk. So that's a good strategy for reminding yourself about things. Many people like to put notes in places they go often, like in the bathroom, on the mirror, or in your car, or of course on the wall around your desk. So that's a good way, a good strategy to stick to or commit to doing something. So keeping it up. Okay, and then what are the things Alicia has to do today? What are the things, or what things does Alicia need to do today? And also put them in order of importance. Okay, so she needs to finish the sales report. She needs to finish the sales report. That's the first thing. And then she needs to make some important phone calls. She needs to make some important phone calls. Okay, and then at 2:30, she needs to meet with the salespeople, or you can say she has a meeting with the salespeople. And then finally, she will go to the gym. She will go to the gym. Okay, so there are 4 things on her to-do list for today. All right, and then finally, what is the lesson or the proverb? Proverb is like a saying, a statement that communicates a lesson, something that we should learn. And it's a little funny because in the audio, Thomas says it in reverse. He says it the wrong way. But what is the actual statement? Okay, so Alicia said, never do tomorrow the things you can do today. Never do tomorrow the things you can do today. Of course, Thomas said, never do today the things you can do tomorrow, but that's not correct. And what does that even mean? What does never do tomorrow what you can do today? The things you can do today. What does that mean? So if you remember the word procrastinate, that's what it means. It means don't procrastinate. So if you can do something today, then don't procrastinate until tomorrow. Don't put it off. Don't delay it until tomorrow. Do it now. Do it today. So that's the lesson from that proverb, from that saying. Okay, so now we're going to look at lesson B in your student's book. So turn to page 72 in your student's book, and you will see lesson B, adverb clauses. So we are going to watch a video that explains our grammar focus today, which is using clauses with when. Clauses with when. So I will play it and continue after it.
Clauses with when. A clause is a group of words that has a subject and a verb. The word when often joins 2 clauses in which the activities occur at the same time.
I turn off my phone when I work.
Use when plus present tense to talk about habits. There are 2 patterns. The when clause can be at the end of the sentence,
I take a taxi when I am in a hurry.
Or when can be at the beginning.
When I work late, my husband picks me up.
Use a comma when the when clause is at the beginning of the sentence. Remember to pause at the comma when reading aloud or speaking.
When I work late, my husband picks me up.
She makes a list when she goes shopping. When she goes shopping, she makes a list.
He does some work when he takes the train. When he takes the train, he does some work.
They take the shortest way when they drive anywhere. When they drive anywhere, they take the shortest way.
Check your understanding. Look at the picture. Complete the question. Use the verbs in parentheses.
She makes a list when she goes shopping. When she goes shopping, she makes a list.
He does some work when he takes the train. When he takes the train, he does some work.
They take the shortest way when they drive anywhere. When they drive anywhere, they take the shortest way.
Okay, so if you look at the blue box in your student's book, you will see useful language, a useful language box. So just keep in mind that you need to use a comma when the when clause is at the beginning of the sentence. And then when you are reading or speaking out loud, then pause after the comma. So, for example, if you look at the first statement in the example, it says, when I have a lot to do, I make a to-do list. So the when clause is in the beginning. So there's a comma after the when clause. And when you are speaking or reading out loud, then you need to pause just for a short time after the comma. So when I have a lot to do, I make a to-do list. But when you put the when clause at the end, you don't need a comma and you don't need to pause. So you can just say, I make a to-do list when I have a lot to do. Okay, so let's look at exercise 2, practice. Let's combine the sentences and use when, and then circle the adverb clause. So I'll give you some time to go ahead and complete that.